Boo! Tonight, I'm in another room of my house. I'm in the back room. This is the creepiest room in my house. I turned all the lights off to make this video a little bit more spooky. Not for you, for myself, because I am terrified of ghosts and I don't like the dark. Yeah, I'm going to talk about ghosts and hauntings in my own house. I have a ghost log, and it always feels awkward and weird and uncomfortable to sit over here. I don't remember how far back this ghost log actually goes, but according to a thread that I am pulling my own stories from, it starts in 2010. Yeah, it's currently 10:19 p.m. January 28th, 2017, and hopefully this gets a little bit weird. Sunday, are you being weird and creepy? I used to be back here at night when I would have to do like homework or whatever. I mean, Sunday, you can't see me, I don't think. Oh, gosh, Sunday, you're creepy as frick. I used to just spend my nights back here on the computer, like doing Facebook, MySpace, whatever was popular at the time. And at that point, my dog, Buster, who I spoke about in my dog video, had passed away. Well, he was alive. He used to go outside against this wall and rub against it to scratch his itches because he was always having an itch on his side or on his hips. He had hip dysplasia, so he always wanted to like rub them against stuff. And after he died, we still heard this rubbing sound, and it was the freakiest thing in the world. It lasted like months, and I would like instantly, if I started hearing that sound, I would go to sleep. I would go all the way across the house that way. I would go all the way to my room, and I would shut the door, turn the light on, and get under the blanket and go to sleep, because that is some scary stuff, and I don't like that kind of stuff. I'm going to do a few stories, and they're going to be short, I promise. I'm sorry if I keep looking around. I have to investigate, at the bare minimum, with my eyes, every sound I hear. It's just, I hate not knowing the source of things, even though I purposely put myself in the dark. I think this one happened when I was chilling in my back room with one of my friends, February 17th, 2011. The doorknob just turned twice on the inside and there is nobody outside. Besides, you can't turn the doorknob on the outside when there is a shut screen door to get through out there. And I heard it over the phone. Like, I heard the door jingling while I was on the phone. It was so weird. Like, I looked over there and it jiggled twice. And obviously there's a screen door out there. It was so freaking weird, and my friend was there with me, so she witnessed it too. February 27th, 2011. My mom just wandered back here claiming that she got a scratch she doesn't know what from. I've been trying to tell her for years now that I get scratches like that all the time. I used to get scratches, like, not like painful ones. They used to hurt like days after I got them, though. It was so weird. And I always got them in my sleep. And I have been trying to tell these people that it's not me scratching myself in my sleep. I don't scratch myself. My nails are short, and I couldn't be scratching myself on my bedpost either because the edges are rounded. So I never knew what it was. If you know what that is, like, let me know, because that stuff is weird. This one's from August 2nd, 2010. Earlier, I saw an unexplained shadow. Yet again, right next to my computer. It was in this room. Underneath it, between the screen and the keyboard. Call me paranoid, but there is no way a shadow could appear down there unless it was me. This one's from August 7th, 2010. Last night, the doorknob back here on the side door jiggled probably by itself because there was nothing out there when somebody made me check. That was Barbo. She has no clue of how scared I was, and she made me go check to see if somebody was trying to break into my house. Not that I didn't get up with a bat, trying to scare whoever was away. There was nothing there when I turned the outside light on, but there were a lot of skittery noises last night for a couple hours. August 23rd, 2010. I seriously got poked by something and there was nothing there. Do not like. Directly in my side. August 27th, 2010. There was the clearest sound of a woman crying in this room I have ever heard. It lasted for almost 10 seconds. It was like that sort of crying that people do when someone dies. It's different than how it normally sounds from pain, and it was so weepy and shrill. August 29th, 2010. Totally unexplained moving human-sized shadow above these two computers. There used to be two back here. Passed by twice. Freaks me out. What's weird is that all the people in my house are in the living room and trying to sleep. This is the back room. That room over there that the door leads into is the living room. September 2nd, 2010. I saw a hand. It was like somebody stuck their hand out from the doorway to wave at me. But it was, well, female is what I presumed, because it had a sleeve. I'm so not kidding. The sleeve was black and red with gold trim. It was that real looking. I went to check in the living room and Andrew's my brother. Andrew's door is closed. Everyone's asleep. All the doors are locked, and it's really creepishly quiet in there. September 29, 2010. Totally creepy random creeping noises back here. Really weird. There was a sound of a knock, or at least something dropped over by the TV. I thought the remote might have fallen out of the chair, but that wasn't it, because the remotes and everything were in the spots they were in. My second guess was that Andrew had gotten home extremely late. Just a very dumb and illogical thought, because I like to rule everything out before thinking ghosts. Though I don't know why Andrew would knock on the back door by the patio. That's that door over there that leads outside. So I checked the patio like the stupid idiot I am, going outside after hearing a creepy unexplained noise. Yeah, smart. Nothing was out there. I checked the other back door too. There's one over there. Checked if there was anything out there. Nothing. Also nothing outside the kitchen door. They're all locked. Andrew's not here. I checked his room because I check everything. He must be at a friend's house. And then while I was typing that, I heard it again. It was weird. It was still happening for a few minutes. After it started, I thought it was the cooler, so I turned it off. There's a fan in here that was already on when I got home, so it's not hot air. I wished it was the cooler. This house is, I think, 60-something years old, so it's not old, I promise. 70 maybe. This is from October 6th also. Last night I was planning to stay up until around 10 a.m. so I could be online when Barbara left to go with her aunt, so she could call or IM me. But I was laying in bed in the freezing cold of my room with my arm over my face. I felt a very, very real push on my shoulder of the arm that was covering my eyes, because I sleep like this. I dab in my sleep. It was like somebody was telling me to get up, but my door was closed. Like, really closed. It makes a loud, like, thump noise when you want to open it. So something pushed me. It scared me so much I couldn't come to moving my arms away from my eyes to check. I just laid there until I fell asleep, like I passed out. October 8th, 2010. I heard a singing noise. I've heard the singing noise a few times, though, mostly over in my sister's room area. It's one room next to mine. But it was clearly one note, then down to another note, like, it was right over my head. That's what got me to cover up my head with my mom's robe and actually pass out. November 3rd, 2010. Last night I was in my bed staring into the closet because I was too awake to sleep, and all of a sudden this randomly sized shadow, too thin to be human, just darts across my wall from the closet to the window. No possible explanation. The door was closed, the fan was off, and my windows are closed. Kind of ignored it, thinking maybe I was sleepy. Then I hear this shrill growling noise above and outside my window. Not like a cat. Couldn't have been no cat because they just don't sound like that, and trust me, I know what cats sound like. It was a long drawn out, deep and trilly, too high up to be a dog. Same day, November 3rd, 2010. Something just swooped across the back of my head and even made a noise. I used to wish that my dog would notice this stuff, because I was the only one noticing this stuff for the longest time. But I was like, please dog, notice, because when your dog notices something, you know you're not tripping. I felt wind on my cheek. Something moved, enough to send cold air in my direction, and now my cheek is cold. Oh, I saw a ghost in my brother's house, and this was July 17th, 2011. I'm just fortunate to have connections with awesome dead people. She lurks in the room. I saw this little girl. I could seriously describe that little child's every detail. She has longish blonde hair, traditional curls, wears light purple ribbons, blue eyes. She wears a flowery light purple dress. She's probably around 5, September 14th, 2011. Last night, I went up because I had the munchies, and when I opened the door, I almost fell back because I saw a child-sized white blob just there in front of me, and it was there for at least a couple seconds, and I couldn't move till it was gone. When I did, I had to turn on the light, and when I went back down to the basement, I had to do it fast. Tonight I went up for the same reason, and when I opened the door and was walking towards the kitchen, I just heard this soft feminine whimper right at the doorway. Creepy. I'll record the rest in my room. October 1st, 2011. Me, my friends. It feels like something is crawling behind me, like animal-sized, and it feels really weird. It's a cat. And no, he's not there. He's upstairs and the door is closed. But it was at my side, scary. There it goes again. It's like a kitten prancing around on the futon. I used to sleep on a futon. Like right behind me. Kitten ghost. It snuck up on my side too, then it went right back to behind me. January 29th, 2012. I just saw a reflection of something swoop across the screen behind me. I swear to God, it's haunted. Have I mentioned that I suddenly just leave IMs and conversations I may have when I'm in this room because I tend to hear and see things? I have done it several times, just get up and leave without saying anything, because I don't like being in here, and I feel like whatever else may be in here doesn't want me in here, and it demands I get out. Oh, this is a story inside a story. I don't know what day it was because I mentioned it in a chat that I copy-pasted. Me and my friend Barbo she was spending the night at my house. We were both in the back room sharing the couch. We were about to fall asleep, and then there was a power outage. My dog Buster was still alive, and Barbo had felt something brush against her leg, and it wasn't me. Since I was on the other end of the couch, she asked if it was the dog, and I said no because I put them both outside for the night. It was summer, so they would have been fine. June 26, 2012. My house is haunted. I was in the kitchen. I saw something bright colored, like orange gold, just poke out the side of the doorway and disappear, around my height, like hair. Since I always check on this stuff, I looked around the corner thinking it might have been my sister's hair reflecting the light above the sink. Then after seeing nothing in that area and hearing no footsteps, I went back to the kitchen and got my orange soda, and I hear very clearly this laugh. It was like, so I went into my sister's room and was like, "What you doing?" And she's just laying down watching Fringe. I don't know what that was. It was weird. July 18th, 2012. Bailey, my sister's cat, keeps scouting the room, just looking back and forth, very specifically right behind me. It's freaking me out. She keeps focusing real hard on that area too, with her ears up and everything, and there's nothing back there. When I look back there, there's nothing. But when I turn back to the computer, Bailey's staring at me. Then she goes back to focusing behind me, watching back and forth as if there's something pacing back there really slowly. Friday, August 31st, 2012. A while ago I saw something outside on the back patio. Completely black, like asphalt. Human-shaped, clearly with a head at the top. Too tall to be a human being and too unmoving. I doubt it was a person because they'd probably give up their trick after a while. And it was night, so I figured they'd want to come in after a few minutes, or at least jump out at me when I looked out there for a closer view through the screen door. But no, it was just there, standing. Anyways, another thing was a few nights ago, I heard one or perhaps two voices say pretty clearly to me as I left this room to go to bed, "We love you." We. So, I don't know, maybe they're nice. I don't think I posted anything at all for 2013. It's pretty calm here, I guess. April 24th, 2014. Here I am sitting in my room with one earbud in, and suddenly I hear my name whisper shouted like, "Nicole!" right at me from behind. So I turn around thinking my friend who lived with me at the time, wants to talk to me about something she saw on the internet, but nope, I looked around in my closet in the corner around the hall. My sister was taking a bath, so I figured it might have been her. And have I mentioned how I hate the bite of the K consonant? Calling me by my birth name sounds like somebody is disciplining me, no matter how nicely they say it. And it was actually the splash of the tub. No, it wasn't. Went into the living room, and my friend was chilling in there talking to my mom. My niece was in the back room watching TV, and my other sister, was doing laundry. My niece heard the door jiggle in the back room once. My sister recently mentioned this. I posted this on December 29th, 2014. My sister recently mentioned how we both used to use the computers in the back room. How we both used to hear something whisper right between us, and we would both look at each other like, "What?" And we thought it was the other trying to get the other's attention. This happened with more people than just my sister, though. We had a friend of a friend who heard random words, one of them was stone, whispered coming from the area of the room to the back room that I was in earlier, when I was in there with her to confirm it. January 19th, 2015. About 4 or 5 days ago, me and my friend were sitting on the couch in the living room watching Investigation Discovery at around 1 a.m. and I had seen the reflection of light behind me on the inside of my glasses. This, of course, made my friend freak out because she thought I did see something back there. It's pitch black back there in the back room, and none of us ever goes back there because at that point it was my sister, who I don't really like. It was her bedroom. About the next commercial later, there's this kind of loud creak sound I heard, and I look over at my friend who's facing away from the back room door, and she's like, "I can't move," because she heard it too, and she was too scared to check the sound source, which was in the back room. So I looked back there and I saw nothing. June 22nd, 2015. I was doing sit-ups and I had to come back in here in the back room because there's a creepy weird shape in the back room that is person-sized standing right behind the shape of the couch. I saw a shape standing back there, about a little bit smaller and shorter than me. Female-ish, large frizzy hair, dark-colored, white nightgown or a low-neck dress. Definitely hair darker than the dress, but large and 70-ish, like big, poofy hair. No facial features were visible. It was too dark, and it was creepy. So I stood where it was, and I showed my sister, and she was like, nope, nope, just nope. We were talking about how she can't look in a certain corner of the back room, the back right corner where I was sitting earlier. How I can't help but look over there. It's got an aura. There's just a strange feeling, not heavy, not cold, not like we're being watched, just weird. And then my friend says, I don't want to visit you anymore. Okay, this is May 6th, last year, 2016. I saw a cat out of the corner of my eye walk over to the counter by the back door here at my friend's house and sit down right in front of the oven. I thought it was Riku, so I looked over there because I was going to make a great white shark comment. She's a great white shark. She's a white cat. And there was nothing there. I got up and looked around the kitchen dining area where my friend was, and Riku wasn't there. I saw a light-colored cat, like it was obviously a cat. I heard its jingly bell, and I keep hearing voices in that friend's house. I might do a video about her house being creepy eventually too. And this is a message between me and my friend whose house it was. I am hearing people talking in here and the TVs are off and I'm the only one down here. Am I gonna die? Yes. It's the neighbors. Oh, it sounds like conversation level volume though. Right here. Wouldn't they need to yell? Could be. And I kept hearing this all through the night. When I told her where the sound was coming from when she got back home, she was confused because their neighbors aren't in that direction. I also swear I'm seeing these glimpses of gray human-sized shadowy things poking around in their dining area, and I want to pass it off as a trick of the light or shadows of all the things they stack up on their counter. You guys might have seen all those things. But those things obviously don't move. Okay, May 14th, 2016. Last night and tonight, my mother has asked me questions about if I can hear a noise in the back room. I don't remember what it was last night, because I put it out of my mind pretty fast. But tonight she asked me if I was watching scary movies, which I do occasionally, but not tonight. Anyways, she was hearing these creaky, howly, weird sounds. But it isn't the neighbors, because there's a blaring loud sound of mariachi bands coming from them. And there's scary movie sounds in my house for the last 2 nights, according to my mother, on May 12th and 13th, 2016 there were. And my dad had been away for the last 2 nights, so my mom always gets a little bit weirded out when he's not home. This one I mentioned earlier, my mom was hearing that chomp sound, like I used to hear when I was little. It's like a t or k sound. I used to think that somebody was talking to me, especially in a scolding way, because of the strong K sound in my name, and when I looked there'd be nothing, and so now my mom's hearing it too. This is the last post in my thread. And since then I haven't heard anything, but that was November 20th last year, so like 100 days ago. One fine day in November, Nicole was sitting in the kitchen doing internet stuff and drinking Dr. Pepper. Christina, the brother's fiance, had literally just left and suddenly the microwave turned on by itself for 3 seconds and then turned off. Nicole went over there because the parents were like, what was that? And she checked the microwave to see if it was maybe restarting or something like that, but nope. It was at the right time and there was nothing inside it. It's haunted. The end. So that is basically all of my experience with creepy haunted weirdness in my house and my friends confirming it. So in the comment section below, tell me about your most creepy experience with ghosts or just weird general things happening in your house. Just post your comment below and let me know.